very much, Professor Krusman, dear participants, distinguished guests. I take this privilege and great honor of introducing to you Her Excellency Dr. Rosa Otunbayeva and of mentioning some of the professional and career highlights of Her Excellency. Rosa Otunbayeva is a recognized and internationally appreciated politician. She was Foreign Minister of the Kyrgyz Republic for several times and served her country as an ambassador to the United States of America, to Canada and the United Kingdom. Furthermore, she was General Secretary and the head of the Commission of the USSR for UNESCO and Vice President of the Executive Board of UNESCO. During her time as ambassador in London, Dr. Rosa Otunbayeva also represented Kyrgyzstan at the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development. In spring of 2010, Dr. Rosa Otunbayeva was selected by the opposition leaders to lead the interim government of Kyrgyzstan after the former regime was ousted from the country as a result of the violent mass protests in the country. In July 2010, Madame Rosa Otunbayeva was elected as the president of the Kyrgyz Republic, thus becoming the first female president of the Kyrgyzstan and of the region. Within her presidency, Rosa Otunbayeva succeeded in bringing about constitutional reform, which turned Kyrgyzstan into the first parliamentary republic in Central Asia. And in the end of 2011, Dr. Rosa Otunbayeva transferred the presidential power in a peaceful manner. To appreciate her outstanding role for the Kyrgyz Republic during the last decade, she received the International Women of Courage Award of the United States Department of State in 2011. Furthermore, she was honored with the prestigious French decoration, Commandeur de la Légion d'honneur award, which made her member of the Legion of Honor in 2012. The same year, she was awarded by the Global Women Leadership Network with the Global Women Leadership Award for her achievements. Furthermore, she was twice nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2011 and 2012. And after her departure from politics, Madame Otunbayeva devotes her attention to the activities of the International Public Foundation, the initiative of Rosa Otunbayeva. Now I pass the floor to Her Excellency. Thank you.
Your Excellencies, the participants in this conference, it is a great honor for me to be in Graz, Österreich, and to talk about the problems of women in Central Asia. I think this is a quite unique conference in the way that we have endless problems in Central Asia regarding the status of women, the problems women meet with. At the same time, someone in the world cares about those problems. And because in this audience we have quite a number of experts on women issues in Central Asia, and we do know very well what kind of problems we are facing too. At the same time, we have good ears of people who make a decision how to solve, to help Central Asian countries to solve those problems. But probably this is the right place where we can discuss in details all these problems. Patricia Floor, Ambassador of the European Union to Central Asia, has done a very comprehensive such a review of all the problems which we are facing. And so when the conference has started, everyone came with such a greeting development for Central Asian countries. When we have started our journey to the Soviet story as part of the Soviet Union, we've been like Afghanistan of today, let's say. So the same situation, almost the same. That was certainly when someone is talking about Central Asia overall. This is the situation which you would probably meet 2 or 1.5 centuries ago. So in 70 or in 80 years, we make a leap or jump toward to the progress, and we reached literacy, high literacy among women. We have finished the Soviet story with 100% of literacy in all Central Asian countries, no doubt about this. This is our great achievement, which we should save and carry further up. We reached better education among women than among men, certainly, and it relates to all such a status. Either you are talking about for just the workers, ordinary, or you are talking about the PhD people. So every time women are far ahead of men. In Soviet days, we reached also political some empowerment. I must tell that today we are missing very much position of women in every RIO. For example, in my country, we have 41 RIOs, and we used to have women, at least by quota, in charge of social issues or ideological issues, if we are talking about the party committees. So this is now absolutely empty. This work, this job, this field, absolutely empty. Nobody looks after this. We are talking about the pluralism, about democracy. Yes, we are striving to get to the democracy, but it means pluralism today that you have in the field everyone as actors. Wahhabis, Hizb ut-Tahrir, Scientologists, all sorts of such people who want to privatize our impoverished population. So I think this is, you see, this is my motion. So I think those difficulties which we are facing today, they are extremely difficult. And I understand that this is not something extra. We are the whole human height, how to say. So we are moving ahead, we are losing, we are gaining something, and in this direction, this field, I regret very much that nobody can involved very closely. You're touching inter-ethnical conflict issues. Professor Marco, you're talking about Balkan conflict. Yes, we faced a year or 1.5 years ago conflict in the south of our country. Now again, we badly need expertise, people who would engage with this special topic. And Ambassador Flor, you are absolutely right. Women are the first diplomats, the first peacekeepers, peacemakers, peace builders in this field. So, UN Peace Building Fund helped us to organize such peacekeepers, and they went to the ocean Geneva, and so we had quite such a tangible work done regarding the peace building. But again, I want to tell you that in many ways today we are facing such points I would underline. On the one hand, it is the ongoing impact of the large-scale project of emancipation, which is implemented from before, in which the performance of the traditional mission of the mother, combined with the integration of women into the labor force. And in order to achieve this, the effective measures have been implemented in the education system, employment policy, social protection. As a result, women in modern Kyrgyzstan have a high level of education and comprise a significant share of the economically active population. I will try to compare the numbers in all 5 Central Asian countries, and it's very difficult to find them. I would turn to our donors that badly need sort of new data, and I have numbers in my country. I was looking for the numbers in UN, via UN agencies data, but very hard to find comprehensive such a data among all these Central Asian countries. And there is a time to collect such a data and to compare and to start to analyze. In recent years, there has been an increase in the other trend, one directly related to the growing number of supporters of traditional religious beliefs and customs. One very visible evidence of this trend was in Kyrgyzstan right after the revolution of 2005, when no women were elected to parliament. We got men's parliaments, and that was the base for such a overall nationwide frustration, and that certainly was the base for another revolt very soon. Public attention to this problem led to the inclusion of temporary special measures, the special quotas being taken, and this 2012. This is 5 years sort of celebration of these quotas in my country into the election of the Kyrgyz Republic. And this had a positive effect on the international image of the country. And in our parliament, we had women occupy 1/4 of the seats. When we are talking about the political empowerment and women on the high position in Central Asia, sometimes I think this is rather decorative such steps and actions. Someone wants to look better than on the international scene, because some authoritarian regimes, they appoint themselves. It's not just a sort of election by a nation overall. And if someone wants to be really look better, then why not to have 20-something% in the parliament, someone deputy prime minister, someone even higher, and so on. So this is, I think we should be very critical regarding all this position of women in our part of the world. Certainly, when I became president, and I was chosen by the group of opposition leaders of the opposition, and as you probably heard that you wrote about the events in Kyrgyzstan, April 2010, opposition was in jail while in the square in front of the White House. People, frustrated people, came to the central square and they've been shot from the windows of the White House. We lost straight 89 young and other people, and so that was fiasco of Bakir's government. Opposition leaders became in prison, and the same night we get together, and me as the leader of opposition in the parliament, and I was a leader of social democrats, 11 people out of 90 in the government. been on the helm 1.5 years. 27 June of 2010, we got a referendum which has passed a new constitution with a parliamentary democracy. And we are only parliamentary democracy in Central Asia. It's such a rare case. We are certainly for absolutely like white crown in this neighborhood. So, and it is very difficult to survive. Believe me, parliamentarism in Kyrgyzstan needs special care. And 27th of June, my name is in Constitution. It's written, and that's how I was chosen as president. Until this 27th of June, starting April 7, nobody recognized us in the world. Even our strategic partners, nobody allowed us to come to the big meetings like CIS or Shanghai Cooperation Organization. So that was, my country became out of law. Starting 27th of June, I was the only legitimate person who took care of this country up to October 10, when we got parliamentary elections. Then we got a new parliament. So 3 and more months, the whole country was on my neck and shoulder. That was very critical time. And for example, I learned the idea that Eber Foundation's representative told that all of us, we want to learn about this part of the world or this part of the world. So you would learn about Central Asia via women. Women are the motto of Central Asia. They are NGO leaders, they are leaders in the newspapers, and they are the chief editors of big magazines and so on. Women consist at least 24% of the parliaments in our countries. Women are very high position in some of our countries. And I do believe women are vital of all the relations in Central Asia. I know that the European Union or the United Nations, OSCE, everyone has a headache how to bring all the Central Asian countries together. You can do this via women. Women will be such a clay among us who would really join all these Central Asian countries. Certainly, their leaders are different. They rule the countries. But women will work very closely with each other. And I applaud this idea that today, Professor Marco, I want to tell you while you are here, thank you that you hired Mr. Krusman, who really started to run this program on Russian and Central Asian studies, that's right, yeah? So this is very important. That brings you up to the for Europe's level, this Graz University. This is so important because, look, at least Central Asia is a resource region in the world. This is one of the largest resource regions, and we know what is the real politics is about. And we do realize that you need also resources. And again, you would find the